Good morning, students. I welcome back you all to this class of mathematics. We are continuing with chapter 13, probability of class 12 mathematics. And in the previous video, I introduced you to the concept of conditional probability. We discussed how an event probability got affected if it is given to you that one event has already occurred. So today in this class we are going to do problems of exercise 13.1 NCERT class 12 maths based on conditional probability. Let us revise the definition of conditional probability. Let E and F are any two events associated with a sample space of a random experiment. Then the conditional probability of the event E, given that event F has already occurred, that is PE by F, is given by PE by F. I again tell you, if you don't remember, that when we write PE by F, that means we are finding the probability of the event E with the condition that event F, which is written after the slash, has already happened. So occurrence of F will definitely may have or may not have some effect on E, and I gave you one example also in the previous video to explain you this concept. So you can find the link of the previous video in the description box, and you can go through the previous video to clear your concept of conditional probability. So PE by F is equal to probability of E intersection F divided by probability of F, and the condition is the probability of F should not be 0 because it is a fraction, because if the denominator is 0 then the fraction or the rational number is not defined. So probability of the F should not be 0. F is an event and it is a set, it is a subset of sample space, so it is a set. So any probability of any set will be non-zero if that set is non-empty. So we get F should be a non-empty set phi. Let us have a quick recap for the properties of conditional probability. Probability of S by F. S by F means S is the sample space and F is any subset of the sample space, any event. So probability of S by F, that means it is coming out to be 1. S intersection F is definitely going to be F only. So PF by PF it is 1. Probability of F by F, the probability of F intersection F by probability of F, it is again going to be 1. Next property, if A, B and F are events of a sample space S and probability of F is not 0, then probability of A union B by F is equal to probability of A by F plus probability of B by F minus probability of A intersection B by F. And the last property, probability of E complement by F is equal to 1 minus probability of E by F. Let us start exercise 13.1. Fifth question. A is any event associated with some sample space. B is also the same events. Any other event associated with the same sample space. Probability of A is given to be 6 by 11. Probability of B has also been given to be 5 by 11 and probability of A union B is 7 by 11. We have to find probability of A intersection B in first part, A by B, and probability of B by A. Now we know the formula that probability of A union B is equal to PA union B is equal to PA plus PB minus P of A intersection B. Here it is given to us that probability of A union B is 7 by 11. So let us substitute the values of PA union B, PA and PB from what is given in the question in this equation, and it will be unknown and we will be getting its value. PA is given to be 6 by 11, PB is given to be 5 by 11. So let us take this term on left hand side, so it becomes probability of A intersection B is equal to 6 by 11 plus 5 by 11 minus 7 by 11. I have transposed PA intersection B on the left hand side and 7 by 11 on right hand side. So 11 is the LCM, 6 plus 5 minus 7, which is equal to 11 minus 7 upon 11, which is equal to 4 by 11. Now we move to the second part. Second part needs me to find probability, conditional probability of A, knowing that B has already occurred. So right now we revised the definition of conditional probability, and according to that, conditional probability of A by B will be equal to probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B, and it is given, both the quantities are given to us in the question. It is we have already found in the previous question, in the previous part, that probability of A intersection B is 4 by 11. So in place of P A intersection B, I write 4 by 11, and PB, probability of B, is given to us in the question, it is 5 by 11. So I substitute here 5 by 11 and I get probability, required probability to be 4 by 5. Similarly, I can find probability of B by A. Probability of B by A is equal to probability of B intersection A divided by probability of A as per the definition of conditional probability, and the probability B intersection A we have already found in the first part, that is 4 by 11, and probability of A is given to us in the question, that is 6 by 11. You can see it is given to us probability of A is 6 by 11, and so we substitute both the values and we get the answer to be 4 by 6 or 2 by 3. Now let us go through question number 8 of exercise 13.1. In from questions from 8 to 10, we have to find out E by F. In questions 8, 9 and 10, 6 to 10, 6 to 9, we have to find E by F, probability of E by F. So it is given to us in question 8 that a die is thrown 3 times. You can read, a die is thrown 3 times. So the random experiment is throwing a die 3 times, and event E is defined as 4 appears on the third toss. Event F is defined as 6 and 5 appear respectively on first 2 tosses. So event E, event F both are defined for you, and you will find out the conditional probability of E knowing that F has already occurred as per the book. Question 8 of exercise 13.1 says, the random experiment, die thrown thrice, E, event E, 4 appears on third toss, F, 6 and 5 appear respectively on first 2 tosses. So let us write first of all the sample space of this event. When you are throwing a die 3 times, and so that means the number of elements in sample space is going to be 216. Look how. So every recall the case when you roll the die 2 times. In that case, you remember 1 1 1 2 2 1 6 2 1 2 2 2 2 6 and till 6 1 6 2 to 6 6, you have got 36 cases. So when you are rolling the die 3 times, then each one of those 36 cases will be paired with 1, then again those 36 cases paired with the second number 2, then all 36 cases paired with 3, and so each one of those 36 cases will be paired with respectively 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you will have 216 cases. Look how 1 1 paired with 1, 1 2 paired with 1, so on, 1 6 paired with 1, then 2 1 with 1 till 2 6 with 1, and on, 6 1 with 1, 6 6 with 1. So we have completed all the 36 cases 1 1 2 1 6 6 6 with 1. Then I will pair all these 36 cases 1 1 2 1 6 with 2. So 1 1 2 till 1 6 2 and on. That means last one will be 6 1 2 2 6 6 2, and similarly I'll keep pairing all these 36. These are 36, these are 36, these are 36, and first I paired these with 1, then with 2, and then on. I am pairing, if then I paired them with 3, then with 4, then with 5, and lastly with 6. So till 1 1 with 6, till 1 6 with 6, and 2 1 with 6, and on till 2 6 with 6, and on. 6 1 with 6 till 6 6 with 6. So all the 36 cases are paired up once by one, then that means their third element is taken 36, all the 36 elements, third element, once it is 1, then it is 2, then it is 3, 4, 5 and 6, and so on. So you can see such a big sample space. So why I wrote this, just to make you understand, otherwise there is no need to write this kind of long, such a big sample space in the exam. You can simply write the number of elements in the sample space. Number of elements in this sample space comes out to be 216, and then let us write the event E. Event E says that 4 appears on third toss. So that means all the 36 elements 1 1 to 1 6, 2 1 to 2 6 up to 6 1 to 6 6 will have 4 as the third element. So I pair up 4 with all 36 elements 1 1 1 2 till 1 6. The third element is 4. Then 2 1 2 2 2 6, and the third element is 4, and on. Last one is 6 1 6 2 4 till 6 6 4. So you can see that case of all 36 elements 1 1 1 2 to 1 6, 2 1 2 2 to 2 6, and on till 6 1 6 2 to 6 6. Their third element will be 4, because event E says that 4 appears on the third toss. So now you can count the number of elements in the event E, and that obviously comes out to be 36. Let us now write the event F. Event F says 6 and 5 appear respectively on first two tosses. So first toss gives you a 6, second toss gives you a 5, and there is no restriction on the third toss. That means at third place you can have any number from 1 to 6. So set F will be 6 1, 6 5 1, 6 5 2, 6 5 3, 6 5 4, 6 5 5, and 6 5 6. So first two places were fixed by 6 and 5, and the last place could take any value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can count the number of elements in the set F comes out to be 6 also. So now we have to calculate PE by F. So that means I should find out the set E intersection F also. Can you tell me here what is the probability of F? Probability of F is number of elements in F, jitne the cases which are favorable to the occurrence of F divided by total number of elements of sample space. Now you can see that all these 6 cases are also there in sample space, because sample space contains all the permutations and combinations of the 6 numbers 1 to 6, keeping all the triplets containing all permutations and combinations of these 6 numbers. So these are also the part of sample space only. So we know that these are 6 elements. So number of elements of the set F are 6. but number of elements on the in the set sample space is 216. So this is the probability of 6 upon 216 is the probability of F. Now let us find out the elements of E intersection F. Now you can see that E contains all those triplets whose last number is 4. So F contains these triplets, you can see. So what is common? I think this is the only common element in E and F because its last number is 4. So set E intersection F will contain only one element, 6, 5, 4. It contains only one triplet. Now if we have to find probability of E intersection F, that is equal to probability of E by F we have to find, that is equal to probability of E intersection F divided by probability of F. Now what is probability of E intersection F? E intersection F has got one case, so number of elements in E intersection F, which is 1, divided by total number of elements in sample space. So this is the probability of E intersection F. We very well remember from the definition of probability that probability of any event is equal to the number of elements in that set divided by total number of elements of sample space divided by the probability of F that we have already calculated, 6 upon 216. So this 216 gets cancelled and the required probability PE by F comes out to be 1 by 6. Here you can note down that probability of happening of the event E with the condition that F is already occurred is 1 by 6. Let us do question number 10 of exercise 13.1. Let us go through the question. Question says a black and a red dice are rolled. So you have got again two dice, but one is black in color, one is red in color. Find the conditional probability of obtaining a sum greater than 9 given that black die resulted in 5. That means event E is that the sum of the numbers that you obtain greater than 9. This is event E. And event F is black die resulted in 5, and we have to find the probability of E by F. And then find the conditional probability of obtaining the sum 8. So event E is obtaining the sum 8 given that. So whatever is written after given, that means that is the event which has already occurred, so we take it F. Given that, so event F is red die resulted in a number less than 4. Event F is red die resulted in a number less than 4. So let us write all the events and the sample space. So you can see that one is the black die and other is the red die. When you roll both of them together, you will get one number, any number here on the black one and any number here on the red one. So we have to, so a sample space should contain all possible outcomes. So that means let us select say black 1. With black 1, all the combinations of red can come. So with black 1 we can have red 1, red 2, red 3, red 4, red 5, red 6, anything can come. And if suppose black 2 comes on the first black die, then again any red number can come with the black 2. So black 2 is again paired up with any of the 6 numbers. So likewise we write this sample space. So the sample space will contain say black 1 with red 1, black 1 with red 2, black 1 with red 3, black 1 with red 4 and black 1 red 5, black 1 red 6. Then again similarly black 2 can be paired up with again red 1 till red 6. Similarly black 3 can be paired up with any of the red 1 to red 6 and on, and the last option is black 6. Black 6 means number 6 on the black die. Black 1 means number 1 on the black die. Red 1 means number 1 on the red die. So black 6 can again be paired up with any of the numbers red 1 till red 6. So this is our sample space. So let us count how many numbers will be there in this sample space. So please you tell me how many of them are there. I think these are 6, 6, 6, 6 times 6. So number of elements this sample space containing is 36. It is very important to understand the sample space and the random experiment. Then only you can proceed correctly in the right direction. Now let us write events E and F. Event E says that it contains all those elements in which the sum of the two numbers obtained on both the dice is greater than 9. So that means set E contains all those elements of sample space where the sum of the two numbers obtained is more than 9. So let us check from the sample space. The first row contains the numbers 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4 and the maximum is 1, 6. The sum is 7. In second row, which is B2 to B2 to B2 R6, B2 R1 to B2 R6. So the maximum number is 2, 6, which is again less than 9. Third row will contain 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6. So the last number of third row will be B3 R6, that will be equal to 9. B3 R1 to B3 R6. This is equal to 9, but we have to take more than 9. So let us see what will be there in B4. B4 R1, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 45 will be 9. So 46. B4 R6. So one case will be B4 R6, and so we can see that these are the events, these are the elements favorable to the happening of E. B4 6, sum 10, you can say B5 R5, sum 10. In the line of 4 only one element, in the line of 5 1 plus 1 2 element, 5 5 is 10 more than 9, 5 6, and in the line of 6 6 4 is 10 more than 9, 6 5 is 11 and 6 6 is 12. So you can see all the sums which are more than 9, we have taken them from the sample space. Now let us write F. F says black die resulted in 5. So let us again check which cases of the sample space should come. So I think the line of B5, B5 R1 to B5 R6, which I think is represented by this dotted line. It is not written here, but it is there. So B5 R1, B5 R2, B5 R3, B5 R4, B5 R5 and B5 R6. These are the 6 elements in set F. Now we have to find out the probability of happening of F, which is equal to the number of cases which are favorable to the happening of F divided by total number of cases in sample space. So let us count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cases are favorable to the happening of F, or we can simply count the number of elements in the set F divided by the total number of elements in sample space. We have already calculated this number to be 36. So NS is 36. So it comes out to be 1 by 6. Now since we have to find P E by F, we need to find the set E intersection F also. So let us again see both the sets E and F. E contains, you can see these elements, F contain these elements. So what is common between the elements E and F? So all those elements of E which have got first element to be B5. I think these are the only common elements. So E intersection F, it contains B5, R5 and B5, R6. So we have got 2 elements only. So probability of E intersection F will be equal to number of elements in the set E intersection F divided by the number of elements in the sample space. You can count 1, 1, 2 elements are there in the set E intersection F, and again the number of elements of the sample space was 36. So this number is 36. So it comes out to be 1 upon 18. Now let us calculate the required thing. We had to calculate the probability of happening of the event E given that the F has already occurred. That is, we had to find the conditional probability of E with the knowledge that F has already occurred. So this is equal to, as we know, as per the definition, probability of E intersection F divided by the probability of F, which is equal to 1 by 18. We have already calculated the values of probability of E intersection F as 1 by 18, and we have already calculated the value of probability of F as 1 by 6. So we substitute these values here, 1 by 6 and 1 by 18. So in turn we get 6 by 18, that is 1 by 3. So this is how we got the required conditional probability. Question number 11. Question 11 says a fair die is rolled. So when a fair die is rolled, what is the sample space? You must be knowing. The sample space consists of, it can consist of any of the 6 numbers, and you are given what are events E, F and G. You can see E is the event 1, 3, 5, F is the event 2, 3 and G is the event 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have to calculate P, E by F and P, F by E in first part. Both you have to calculate. P, E by F means probability of E intersection F, conditional probability of E, knowing that F has already occurred. So this is equal to P, E intersection F by F. I am going a little bit faster because I think it has become very obvious by now. So I need to write the set E intersection F. You can see E and you can see F. What is common amongst the two? The only common element is 3. So probability of E intersection F will be number of elements in E intersection F divided by number of elements in sample space. So this 3 by 6 is the probability of E intersection F. Probability of F, number of elements in F, which is 2, divided by total number of elements in sample space. Here students, we had written it 3 here, it is not 3. 3 is the element, but the number of elements is 1. We don't have to write this element 3 here, we have to write the number of elements of E intersection F. So number of elements is 1, so I have to write 1 here. And probability of F has got 2 elements, so 2 upon total number of elements in the sample space. So it comes out to be 1 upon 2, 6 gets cancelled. And similarly, if I write P, F by E, this is equal to probability of F intersection E divided by probability of E. E intersection F intersection E is same, so this is again 1 by 6, and probability of E, let us count the number of elements in E, which is 3, divided by total number of elements in sample space, so it also comes out to be 1 upon 3. Now let us see the third part of this question. It says that you have to find the conditional probability of E union F by G. You have to find the conditional probability of E union F knowing that G has already occurred. Also you have to find the conditional probability of E intersection F knowing that G has already occurred. So let me first find the probability of PE intersection F by G. So as per the definition, this should be equal to probability of E intersection F intersection G, E intersection F intersection G upon probability of G. So I have got the sets given to me, I can very well calculate it. So let me first see how to find the probability of E intersection F intersection G. So let us see all the three sets E, F and G. So can you tell me what is the common element? If I see in E and F, the common element, only common element is 3, and you can see the 3 is the only element which is there in all the three sets. 2 is in F and G but not in E, 5 is in E and G but not in F, so 3 is the common element. So E intersection F intersection G. So if I write here somewhere that the set E intersection F intersection G, so this is containing only one element which is 3. So now if I write the probability of E intersection F intersection G, so that is equal to number of elements. How many elements are there in the set E intersection F intersection G? There is only one element. So number of elements in this set is 1 divided by total number of elements in sample space. So this 1 by 6 is the probability of E intersection F intersection G. Divided by, now I have to write the probability of G. So let us again see what is event G. This is event G. How many elements it has got? 1, 2, 3, 4. It has got 4 elements. So G has got 4 elements divided by total number of elements in the sample space. So this is the required probability of E intersection F slash G, which comes out to be 1 upon 4. Now let us calculate the other part of this part. Part 3 has got 2 parts. So this I have already calculated. Now I am calculating this. Intersection calculated, union now I am calculating. So probability of E union F oblique G, E union F slash G is equal to probability of E by G plus probability of F by G minus probability of E intersection F by G. If you remember the formula of probability of E union F, so E union F has got the formula PE plus PF minus PE intersection F, and when there is a slash G, so you keep putting slash G with every term. So now we have to calculate the conditional probability of E by G. This we very well know. This is equal to probability of E intersection G upon probability of G. This is equal to probability of F intersection G upon probability of G, and this I have already calculated to be 1 by 4. So I substitute its value to be 1 by 4. Now look up E intersection G. Look at the sets E and G. What is common in these two sets? I think 3 and 5. There are two common elements, 3 and 5 in E and G. So E intersection G will contain two elements, 3 and 5. So E intersection G will have two elements divided by the number of elements of sample space, and G has got 1, 2, 3, 4 elements divided by the number of elements of sample space. Similarly, F intersection G. So F and G, what is common in F and G? 2 and 3. Both the elements are common, two common elements. So F intersection G will have two elements. So probability of F intersection G will be 2 by 6, number of elements in F intersection G divided by number of elements in sample space. Now probability of G we have already calculated to be 4 by 6 minus 1 by 4. So we were at this step, 6 gets cancelled. So 2 by 4 plus 2 by 4 minus 1 by 4. This is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 4. 1 minus 1 by 4 is equal to 3 by 4. This is the required probability. Let us now move to question number 12. Exercise 13.1. Assume that each born child is equally likely to be a boy or a girl. So the sample space will consist of all possible combinations of two children in a family, one being a boy, one being a girl. That will be the sample space. And if the family has two children, what is the conditional probability that both are girls? So, event E is both are girls. Given that the youngest is a girl, there are two parts. First part says you take event F as youngest is a girl, and second part says that you take F as at least one is a girl. So we have two parts. In both the parts F is different, and we have to find E by F for first part and E by F for second part separately. The question says there is a family having two children and each child is equally likely. So two children family can have these combinations, either both girls or both boys, or boy elder, girl younger, or girl elder, boy smaller. So this can be the structure, this can be the possible sample space. Event E, whose probability we have to find is both are girls. It is given that means event F is in first part the youngest is a girl and in second part at least one is a girl. So let us first proceed part 1. Part 1 says E remains the same, both are girls. So let us directly write what are the events favorable to the happening of E. So it will contain only one element of the sample space GG. Now since we are doing first part, event F will be the youngest is a girl. So in these cases, whichever case will contain the youngest to be the girl. So here the younger one, this is elder one, this is a younger one in every case. So here the younger one is a girl and here also the younger one is a girl. So it will have two cases GG, BG. So it is containing two cases and we have to find probability of E by F. So let us write the set E intersection F also. So we can see these are two sets. What is the common element? The common element is G comma G. And now we find probability of E by F. So that is equal to probability of E intersection F divided by probability of F. Probability of E intersection F, and you also know that this, instead of writing the probabilities, we can also write number of elements in E intersection F divided by number of elements in F, because the elements of sample space gets cancelled from numerator and denominator. So instead of calculating the probabilities, you can calculate simply the number of elements in these two sets also. So I can see that the number of elements is 1 in set E intersection F, and in F there are 2 elements. So we got this required probability to be 1 by 2. And let us proceed the second part. Second part says event E remains same, both are girls, and event F is at least one is a girl. At least one is a girl means all the cases of sample space in which there is one girl or more than one girl. So in these two cases there is one girl and in this case there is more than one girl. So we now write E intersection F also. So I can see what is common in set E and set F. So the only common element is GG. Now again I have to find P E by F, which is equal to P E intersection F divided by PF, which is equal to number of elements in E intersection F divided by number of elements of F. E intersection F has got one element, F has got three elements. So this is the required conditional probability. So now students, I end up this class here, and let us do the rest of the questions in the next class. Please revise your concepts. You can try those questions, and till then you please keep revising your previous concepts also, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe this channel. Thank you.